the synchronicities, the symmetrical alignments, right? The readings that take place, right? The activities that get conducted during the course of the seminar, after the seminar, is beyond explanation. There's no explanation for it, except for the fact that you experienced it, right? And experience is the best teacher, shower, and knower, right? And we have been disconnected for several generations. This is a new paradigm that we are pioneering. We're pioneering a new paradigm. No more belief, no more speculation. You want to make a real spiritual connection? Don't ask me about no Anunnaki. Don't tell me that you done had some experience with the Anunnaki. I don't give a fuck. You ain't making no connection to your grandmothers and your grandfathers. That's the real connection. That's not a speculative connection. If you're going to get speculative, like with my mama, may the ancestors be with her. I say, mama, sure, give me a sign that that's you, mama. And she give me a sign like a motherfucker, and it be my mama. Every time. Every time. Same thing with my granddaddy. It's my granddaddy right here. I keep their pictures right here on the desk. You know, right here on the desk, right next to me. But I connect with their spirits every day. Same thing for my sister. Same thing for my teacher, Mr. Griffin. May the ancestors be with him, my 5th grade teacher. He had a very positive impact on my life. These are people that I have memories. Their memories exist inside of my subconscious mind. These are real spiritual connections. Now, if you ain't set with some of these beings and seen them in real time, it's a speculative connection. You're speculating. I'm not saying that you're not capable of making those connections, but that's not the precedence you want to make when making spiritual connections. You want to make sure that those connections are to beings that you're highly familiar with, for one, and for two, that you owe some debt of gratitude to. This will gain the attention of the observation, those beyond the observational field, and see how you conduct yourself when connecting to those who you owe a debt of gratitude to. And one of the frequently asked questions is, how do I connect to my ancestors? And y'all know what I'm going to say for those that know. They already coursing through your veins. You already connected to them. You just not acknowledging that connection. And that has to be acknowledged. And if you acknowledge it on a consistent basis, those efforts, that energy will start generating a circuit that which efforts will compound and create a copious event in your reality. That might express itself in the form of a miracle. It might be a miraculous event that leads to some type of copious circumstance in your life, right? Or you might reach some zenith of enlightenment that may not have been probable to attain without you making that connection. Because those that's known open up the corridors and the channels to those that's unknown. And those that's unknown, they open up the corridors to the ancestors. The ancestors open up the corridors to the ancient ancestors. And the ancient ancestors open up the corridors that take you to the ancient ones, the ancient of days, that lead to the primordial deities that generated this universe out of their imagination. And when you start talking primordial, you're talking prior to the birth of your universe, which in one universe, listen, is over 52 sextillion galaxies that belong to your universe. Every galaxy has over 100 billion star constellations within them. That's a lot, man. That's a lot. The closest constellation to the planet Earth is Vega. And that's about 4.7 trillion light years away from you. You can't even process that. That's why I tell people to connect to the sun. You can see the sun, It ain't nothing spooky about that connection. Right? Ain't nothing spooky about it. Said Lyra. What about Lyra? Lyra ain't as close as Vega. Vega is real close. Lyra is the alpha star in the Leo star constellation. That's just the Leo, the alpha star, right? Its gravitational field is a lot more stronger. Let me see. I got all the constellations lined up here in my book of notes. Yeah. Leonis, Regulus. Yeah, Lyra. Lyra is a part of the Vega. Excuse me. Yeah, that's a part of the Vega. Or Lyra does have its own constellation. And its biggest star is the alpha star is called Vega. Right? And it's a very close constellation or star. That's the closest star that we have access to. Right? It's the closest one. It just gives you a glimpse of how expanded your galaxy is. Not the universe, your galaxy. Your sun, which is 93 million miles away from the planet. And your sun is 7.5 million times larger than your planet. Your planet is like a pebble in comparison. And our sun, our star, is one of the smallest stars in our galaxy. So you got to know, you have to measure your significance within the tapestry of your nebula. They call that the galactical arm. It's a bunch of galactical or nebulas that make up your galaxy. Those arms, that's the name I could just think to call it. Galactical arms. Some people call it the galactical whirlpool, right? But though all of those are being pulled by the gravitational field of the black sun that sits in the center of the galaxy, right? It's drawing all of the light into that dark sun or that black sun. A brother made mention earlier about dark matter, but he didn't ask no question. Y'all got to stop doing that too. Stop attempting to find out what it is that I know. Don't do that to yourself. Just say what you want to know. Like, let me just say this and see what he'll say. Because it's a bunch of parasitic beings. They on the other side of the wall. They taking notes. And they trying to put their own P. Diddy remix on what I say. You know. And I'll give y'all the chance, y'all people on the other side of the wall. You better go start saying, you ain't got to come in here. I know you don't want your follower to see like, oh, shit. Go ahead and start citing your source before you spin the block. I'm just giving you a fair warning because I'm a lean into your ass so crazy. And them little spells that you're going to try to put on me, because I done seen all of that. That shit ain't going to work. It's going to be real fucked up for you. You hear me? I'm in here doing the Lord's work in the real way. I'm not playing with it. I don't have to put spells on people. I don't have to restrict people. I don't have to manipulate others. I'm not doing none of that. I'm not going to act like my mama and my daddy was a part of some Nigerian tribe, because they wasn't. They was brought up in Detroit, Michigan, right? I'm from over here. And I'm here representing for you people that are from here. And I'm showing you definitive connections that need to be made. Because we ain't been connected to our bloodlines. And that's the agenda. That's why you think they got the man and the woman fighting against each other, right? You got all of these subservient groups that people are coming up with. It's to create dissension amongst our generational connections. In other words, you might know your mother's side of the family, but you don't know nobody on your daddy's side. And unbeknownst to you, it could be everybody on your daddy's side that already crossed over looking out for you. And ain't nobody on your mama's side looking out for you. Hell, they can't. They get blocked and restricted from doing that because you didn't take the time to connect them to the other side of the family. That's a karmic strike against you. You hear me? Nobody get away with nothing. Nobody gets away with anything. These are things that will negate a being from allowing you to incarnate back into their family again. Because you didn't do what was right. See, doing what's right is doing what's right when ain't nobody looking. Because it's the right thing to do. When you're doing stuff for validation and because you want a pat on your head, that's not genuine. You got to do it because it's the right thing to do. That's right. You got to have some integrity. Beings don't got no integrity, right? Some people don't even know to have some integrity, and they're functioning with an unconscious incompetence. Someone needs to pull your coattail. This is why it's important to have a teacher, a guide, a mentor, someone with some experience. Make sure they got 20 years or better. You hear me? And nobody is perfect, but you want to learn from someone that has experience, not just someone that has book knowledge. That book knowledge person probably don't got no life experience. Never raised a family before. You hear me? Never applied none of the stuff that they was learning. They just knew the information. That's not enough. You got to apply this shit. I'm telling you. Some people don't meditate at all. I know people been on this shit 30 years, still ain't meditating. Like, damn, you still don't meditate? Nah, man, shit, I never figured that out. Then you look at the way that their life going and it's like, oh shit, I see why your life is that way. You don't meditate. That's something we discussed in this last seminar. Meditation. Meditation is your medication. Period. You got to get it in. You should want to get it in. And when I say meditation, I'm talking transcendental. So that you can override your unconscious mind. Because your unconscious mind, you didn't let it run wild the last 30, 40 years. It's going to show some resistance to you. like, damn, motherfucker, you sure did get brand new. Now you want to start observing me and try to tame me? I'm going to show your ass. And now it becomes difficult for you to get into meditation. You know, I told one of my students about a week ago, and they was like, I just can't tap into it. I'm like, well, yeah. Before I start telling you about meditation, how long would you try meditation in? Ah, shit, I never tried it. Like, yeah, man, you 50-something years old. You done wasted a lot of time not meditating. You're just not about to turn that shit on like a light switch. You know what I mean? You're going to have to practice. You hear me? It's like a person never having to walk. Let's just say you didn't have to walk the first 40 years of your life. Now all of a sudden you got to walk. Your legs ain't even going to hold you up because you never exercised those muscles. The atrophy is going to reveal itself quite prevalently with every move you attempt to make. And you will end up dragging your body across the ground like a snail until you're capable of getting strong enough to stand up. And that even takes time. Things take time, you guys. It's not something that just happens because you want it to happen. You have to be patient. And you have to put in the necessary energy to garner a result, right? You just have to. And I was fortunate enough to have erudite masters that were capable of showing me how to meditate or guiding me through meditation. And it took my mother, may the ancestors be with her. My mother confirmed to me my meditations without me even asking her, because we used to meditate together. And one time she told me, she was like, Baba, I seen you. I said, huh? She was like, when you was meditating, I opened up my eyes and your whole body was green. She said she couldn't even see my face or nothing that I was wearing. Everything just turned green. And then when she said it the second time, oh, my confidence was through the roof then. It was through the roof. All that did was made me tap in even more and be receptive to the transmissions that I was receiving from my oversoul. And once I grew to a point, once I evolved and expanded to a point to where my oversoul, it was giving me all of the nooks and crannies. That's your first mind. Your higher self meets you in the first mind. That's your intuition. You know how a lot of times you say, damn, I should have listened to my first mind. And you didn't listen to that first mind? That was your oversoul. That was your higher self attempting to connect to you, telling you the truth, and you didn't want to hear it. Nah, I don't believe that. You listening to your unconscious mind. You hear me? But with enough consistent meditation, you're not going to negate those transmissions that are being relayed to the psychic center, because this is where they come to. It's right there. Right? And when it comes, don't doubt it. It has a mountainous view on what you're looking at from the ground level. Right? Now I'm going to show y'all on the board, because we went over this earlier. Right? Because we going into Het Hiru. We coming out of segment. Raynology 101, we going into Raynology 102. And you're going to start tapping into your magic and start controlling your reality. You about to make reality your canvas, and you're going to draw on that canvas the life that you want, the reality that you want. You're going to start doing that. You have the capability of doing it. You just got to start investing and budgeting your time and your energy into the things that you want. You got to put your focus and concentration into that. And stop thinking that everything else needs to be prioritized. Nothing needs to be prioritized but you. Call it selfish, whatever the fuck you want to. Ain't shit popping off without you. So you got to make sure you right first. You hear me? And the first thing, peace of love, beloved. The first thing is suppressing the unconscious mind. You're welcome, beloved. That's where that second guessing comes into play. That's where that doubt and that uncertainty, that's the third and the fourth guessing. A lot of people like to guess. They like to speculate. I don't like to do all that shit. I ask a person something, they don't give me the answer. I like, look, I don't got time to be guessing with the fucking answer. You gonna tell me the answer or not? So what's this new verbal war with? I don't know what you're talking. You got to be a little bit clearer, Royal. You got to be clear on, I don't know what you mean by the verbal war. Are you talking about with the, I don't want to speculate. And see, we want to take these rational and practical approaches. Oh, he said the people sparring about Aboriginal ancestry. See, they worried about the wrong thing. And I can guarantee you this. Check this out, Royal Disciple. Shouts out to Royal Disciple. All of those people arguing about Aboriginals and ancestry and pyramids in America, I can guarantee you, none of them have an altar. None of them have poured a libation this AM or morning. You hear me? None of them have made an offering to their dearly departed. They're not burning no ancestor money. But they got all this damn time to argue and talk about some shit that ain't relevant to their grandmother. It is, but it's not. And their grandmother's in purgatory right now. And they got all this energy to connect to something that they're speculative about. They're not definitive. They're speculating. Not acknowledging the fact that I don't give a fuck what you know about that bullshit. You got 100 years here at best, and then you out of here. 100 years. People spend 15 years of their life working, 15 years of their life being entertained, whether that be through television, theater, cinema, or sporting events, right? 24 years in the bathroom getting ready for those first two. That's 54 years of your life in 3 moves. You spend 12 years in going through the grimoires of hell. That's 66 years. Then you got another 12 years doom scrolling through your cell phone. That's 78 years of your life. Outside of the fact that these people debating and putting energy into all of that shit. They wasted time. You wasted time. If you ain't, and this for anybody doing that paperwork, if you ain't taking your ass to Geneva, stop telling people what the fuck you done came up with. You ain't did shit. Until you went to Geneva and went before the international courts and before the world, you ain't did shit. You ain't did a damn thing. How you move? You said how you move with wisdom and not collect it. How you let your frequency shape love and creation is how you honor your ancestors. Yes. Yes, to a degree, that's true. Some of them need a plate. Some of them need a hot plate. They need a libation every day. Their stories still need to be told. Their pictures need to be hung up and not placed in some photo album. And you need to acknowledge the sacrifice and dedication that they made in order to progress their genealogy further. Right? This is essential. And you're definitely right about that, Drew. And I'm a living personification. That's why I tell people I am my ancestors' keeper. I'm Bear's family members. And I'd be like, yeah, man, I poured a libation this morning for your grandmama. Huh? Yeah, for your grandma. But that's not your grandma. Yeah, but she's still in my family. Right? Says some say they honor with flowers and fruits via the sun. Yeah, fuck all of that. They being lazy. Again, that's a speculative connection. You need an altar in place. You gotta have an altar. Where are my people that took the altar discourse? Put it down in the comments if you're one of my students, you took the discourse. And let them people know what that shit hit like when you put that plate up there for your grandmother or your mother. You hear me? That shit hit a little different, don't it, Miss Lovely? Versus taking a speculative approach. They're going to show you beyond a shadow of a doubt that they with you. Because that's your first line of defense into the spiritual universe and in the physical universe. It comes from your own ancestors. Said, but mysticism talks about having an altar for self. Yeah, it talks about it. But what I'm telling you is, because I belong to a mystical order, right? And that is a training wheel way, but that's not your blood that's coursing through your veins. That's not your blood. That blood belongs to your mama and daddy and they mamas and daddies. Them characteristics and traits that you're using, that's theirs. That's not yours. Not until you have children, and now the children are carrying a piece of your genetic material, right? Until that time, you're leasing what you have. And you have to honor those beings. And you're being assessed by the ancestors, listen, that allows you access into that bloodline. Because it wasn't your mother and father. They're the byproduct of the decisions that the custodians of those respectable bloodlines made in order to give you access to it, right? Now, the things I'm talking about right now, my people in Nigeria, they highly aware of that. The people in Haiti, they highly aware of that. Some of my people out of the Dominican Republic, they highly aware of that shit. The Puerto Ricans, right? They highly aware. My Mexican brothers and sisters, the Orientals, they aware of this shit, right? It's the niggas here. We not connected to none of that shit. We start watching YouTube videos and all this shit, and we think that shit be enough. That's not enough. Then what about having an Oshun or Oba via Orisha? Yeah, that's a great experience to have. And the reason why I say that is because they're melanated people and they look like you. Anything that look like you, right? It's okay to connect to it. It should never be demonized. I don't care if it's the Ifa, Yoruba, right? Because I got Ori heads too, right? I had a reading done. They wanted to initiate me as a Ifa priest. Abatala is my father head and Yemiya is my mother head. I venerate them every day. You hear me? But I didn't get initiated there because I already had 2 initiations that predate the Orishas. I'm already in alignment with the Neteru, right? And again, I'm not from Nigeria. My mother and father not from Nigeria. Their mothers and father is not from Nigeria, and they didn't practice those systems. You hear me? So I'm not saying that it doesn't work, but in order to fortify the connection, I just went back to the source of origin. Because even that go back 8,008 years. That was created by Yakub. When you say Yoruba, you're really saying Yakub. Yakub is the being that invented Yoruba. Said, my thing is Pangea, both Africa and America is connected, so that would make them both motherlands. Yes, to a degree. See, it was only one landmass. All them little lines and shit that they make up to make up states and countries and shit, that's some colonial bullshit. Right? That's their little separation clause when it came to putting together maps. But when you look on real ancient maps, there are no lines except for where the rivers and the creeks are. Other than that, just one piece of fucking land, right? And that piece of land originally was called Tatanin. Tatanin. And that's before we had a moon. And before you had a moon, listen, there was no nighttime. It was very little night. And it was mostly light. And the beings were green. Your sky wasn't blue, it was green. My mic went out? No, my mic didn't go out. Yeah, we were green. We started to rust once we mixed in with the Hindus. Because they used to bleed. We didn't bleed. You bled chlorophyll. You were a magnesium-based being. Don't listen to Bobby Hemming. He said you carbon-based. No, Hindus are carbon-based. That nigga was on a 6 ether frequency. A 9 ether being vibrates with magnesium. Magnesium and potassium and chlorophyll, vitamin K, that's where you thrive in. We begin to rust once we mixed in with the 6 ether being, right? And once we mixed in with the 6 ether albedo, then we started to exhibit physical death, meaning that we took on the personification of death. So our hair began to turn white. See how my beard is turning white? And I'm not going to say, yeah, we 9 ether gas. Yeah, 9 to the 9th power 9 ether gas. Right? You a cosmic plasma. You operate on a cosmic plasmatic level. To put it in something that you can actually trace these terminologies to, so we don't get too speculative about it. Cosmic waves or cosmic plasma is the subatomic particles that help generate suns. They give off solar plasma, solar winds, right? That give off a lower form of plasma. And like I'm working on about 8 or 9 books right now. He said, I heard an oracle speak of that plasma. Yeah, that's what plasma is. Plasma is electrically discharge inert gases that do not register as a sum. And when I say sum, I mean SUM. They don't register on the physical scale, right? They predate the laws of physics. So most scientists don't like to include plasma as a part of their research. They say that it's pseudo. And most of them that's saying that, they only got about 5 chakra points anyway. So they can't even tap in like that. They got to artificially inseminate glands into their body to make these connections. That's how you got people like Chris Angel and David Blaine and the things that they're capable of doing. It's because they've had surgical implants placed in these areas of the body to turn on these extra chakra points that you already naturally have. You follow? So a person like Donald Trump, for say for instance, I'm just going to use him as an example. In order for him to feel the same rate of aliveness that I feel, he got to go get on 3 roller coasters back to back to back, and then snort a few lines just to feel how I feel right now when I'm laid back and I'm cool and I'm chilling, just for him to match that vibration. I'm just giving you guys a gauge of a field of reality that you're capable of emitting without you even trying to do. It's just effortless, right? It's not something that I'm trying to do. I'm not trying to be cool. I'm not trying to be something that I'm not. I'm just being myself, man. They had that problem. That's why the cinema had to be created. They don't have that ability to be emotionally gathered like you. So if I'm genuinely touched by something, it might make me cry, it might make me laugh, it might make me angry. They don't have that ability. They gotta act that shit out. And call on the god or the demigod of Dionysus, who is the god of theater, celebration, and drunkenness. I don't have to do that. You don't have to do that. You can be quite colorful effortlessly, right? Hey, hold that. Hey, hit that light right there for me. No, this one. All right. Anybody got any questions before we go on up to the board? Any questions? Don't forget to join us in July. Now, I told y'all about Atlanta last time, and I've been telling y'all about July. July the 26th and the 27th for the AAA workshop. Come join us in San Antonio, Texas. You want to learn how to construct your altar? You want to make sure that you're here for this seminar. And that's the only break I'm cutting on the discourse is at the seminar. You're going to have to come on out. You're going to have to come out, man. You show up, your dearly departed going to show up too. And you're going to get your questions asked, and something mystical going to happen. I just got to give you all that disclaimer. Something mystical going to happen to where it's going to show you beyond a shadow of a doubt that you were supposed to be there. You're going to be like, damn, oh shit, I was supposed to be here. Then you will start thinking like, oh shit, all them other seminars I missed. Man, I will be way much further, right, with your own self. Because I told y'all, we in Raynology 102 now. We developing our own realities. That's the type of shit I put people on. You need to be conducting your own reality. Nothing need to be in charge of you but you. You hear me? I said, what is the portal existence talks about Murduke? You're going to have to be a little bit more clearer about your question. Another being said, is it true there's a new world? Yeah, this is called the New World, the New World of North America, right? You got New Age, they call them New Age problems. That's where the terminology New Age comes from as well, right? And it's all in association with the New World Order. And portals, Murduke or Marduk is a Sumerian deity. That's the son of Enki and Damuzi, right? Or Nudimud. Or excuse me, Damkina. Damkina and Enki is the father of Marduk. Yeah, I'm trying to figure out what you want to know about it. Like your question wasn't clear. He said it's thought here. Yes, yes, Tahuti or Zedhuti, right? That's a primordial being that predates your universe. Same thing for Ptah. Same thing for Re or Amun Re, right? Yeah, but you got to be definitive. Like I, I don't know what you understand or not. So like when y'all ask y'all questions, like be clear about so I can answer it clearly. I don't like to have to speculate about what you mean or what it is you're trying to understand or overstand. Yeah. But like I said, those beards, you should have more interest in your grandmothers and your grandfathers. At the same rate that y'all want to know about Marduk and all these other dimensions, you didn't sign up for that. You signed up to be here. This is what you signed up for. And this is what Tahuti. That's coming from Tahuti himself, man. Y'all got grandmamas in purgatory, granddaddies in purgatory. Ain't nobody poured a libation for them in 20 years. They starting to appear like the beings on the Coco cartoon. Starting to disappear. Because ain't nobody putting no energy into them. And it ain't no excuse. Because you walking around with their blood. That's their blood that's coursing through that's not your blood. You know what I mean? You owe that ashe, even if you don't think you do. You do. I don't care how many damn books you read. That shit ain't gonna stop you from, that ain't gonna clear up that debt that you owe. All that shit your mama and daddy done did for your ass. You ain't did even a 16th of that shit for them. You know what I mean? But most people walk around here like they done did so much for their parents, and you ain't did shit for them. Same thing for your grandparents. You owe. You owe. You know what I'm saying? You owe. And many immortal end up on that side with their ass and be stuck in limbo and purgatory with them. Like, damn, I should have listened to that nigga. He wasn't lying. Don't wait to have that decision. Don't not make that decision and have that become your reality. You have to end up waiting on a great granddaughter. You know what I'm saying? This is what's going on. This is the type of information that has not been available to you that many of us need to be aware of, right? That's why them African brothers be standing away from you like, man, them Africans don't like us. It ain't that they don't like you. They know that you're not venerating your dearly departed. They don't see your ancestors around your ass. Same thing for the Orientals. Same thing. They like, yo, this motherfucker don't even acknowledge their elders. And they could tell by the way your children behave, the way they conduct themselves. They're just a byproduct of you. and what you show them. You hear me? This is the real reality of it. Your children should have Egyptian names. For lack of a better word, I'm saying that. They should have cultural expression effortlessly going through the tapestry of your home. I was talking to some of my students this weekend, and I was talking about how many so-called black people here in the New World of North America have a very poor sense of African-centeredness. Very poor sense of that. Very poor sense. They didn't grow up hearing nobody beat the African drum. They're not comfortable going through African customs. And I don't care which tribe it's a part of, but they haven't been exposed to these cultural accents from these particular countries and tribes in the motherland. You know what I'm saying? Y'all don't have that. Not until you become awakened and become grown. Your mama just smack you on the back of your head and say, go to church on Sunday, go to Bible school on Wednesday. Right? You don't learn nothing about Africa, but you learn everything about Babe Ruth. You learn about George Washington and Abraham Lincoln. But you don't know nothing about the Ubuntu. The Zulu tribes, right? The tribes out of Ghana, the Ashanti and the Kumasi, and the great kings and the amount of wealth that they were able to, acquire. The tribal systems of the Igbo in Nigeria. Y'all don't know about none of that. Not until you grown. And even then, you don't have no sense of it. Yes, New Orleans is one of those spots. Right on, KC the Ronin. Yeah, New Orleans does give you a sense of that. Outside of New Orleans, shouts out to my people in New Orleans. I got a lot of students that come from Louisiana. They be in alignment with me, like, yo, man, I'm rocking with you. They don't look at death the same way that everybody else look at it. They still have some type of cultural connection, right, to a spiritual system. A lot of us been disconnected from that. And I'm telling you, these other people can smell that shit on you. They can smell it like, oh shit, here go one of these goddamn zombies. I'm sure they got some little colorful word for it, but that's what they be saying about you. And your intuition pick up on it and be like, oh man, these beings don't like me. No, it ain't that they don't like you. They see that you're not in alignment with who you are. And you don't even care. You attempting to live on a timeline of people that do not like you. That's ass backwards. You could be putting that energy, that same energy into yourself. The energy y'all put into Gucci and the Louis Vuitton, if you put that energy into yourself, you would be bigger than Gucci or Louis Vuitton. And they both know that. And they know that you don't have enough sense to put that same amount of energy into yourself. You hear me? Shouts out to Akon. Akon went on to Drink Champs with Nori on the little podcast. And he had on a fake Dior jacket. Right? It was a fake Dior jacket. He got it from his man off Canal Street up in New York. Probably paid about $50 for it. But he said, man, I bought this off the corner off my man. He's this is a synagogue special. But he was showing him respect for being out there being a merchant. And he broke bread with that brother. And he said, man, why don't you wear my jacket on the Drink Champs? He didn't say, oh man, it's some fake Dior. I can't wear no fake Dior. He said, no, my man made this. And he out here peddling it. I'm going to get on TV and wear his $50 fake Dior jacket and tell people about him. Now, your average nigga, I'm going to just use T.I. for an example. Shouts out to T.I. Now, he not going to do that for the homie from Bankhead that's out there selling fake Dior. He going to shun him and castigate him in a bad light for even having some fake Dior. And he not gonna pay for none of his shit and put it on and go on Drink Champs and be like, I got, you feel me? We not connected, we not unified, man. The first place we need to get unified at is at the altar. Through our libations, our offerings, our prayers, and our supplications. That's where we need to unify for the people here in the New World of North America. And watch how this whole fucking country start changing. It's waiting for you to take charge. But you got to take charge of yourself first. Then you can start talking about retribution and what's that other word? It's an R word. When people they want the money and all of this shit for what they did to us. You got to know who you are first. You hear me? Reparations. Thank you, Rob B. The reparation. You want some reparations, you got to give yourself reparations first. We all got to be on the same page. And see, you can't go to these goofy motherfuckers and ask them for reparations. That ain't what the Japanese did. They went to Geneva. You got to go to the international courts. Only one person prior to my generation did that, and that was Malcolm X. They found out that nigga was going to the fucking, he was going to Geneva. Oh, they had to kill that nigga. You hear me? But it's been brothers since then that went to Geneva. And a lot of these niggas out here talking about they Aboriginal and they this and they that, they never been to Geneva. I don't want to hear nothing about your paperwork. So you can show me a selfie of you at the international courts. I don't want to hear that shit. Say, what is Geneva? Look it up. Geneva is in Switzerland. Right? That's where they hold the international courts because they're not connected to none of the countries in the world. They have a biased stance on what's appropriated. That's why they chose that place for international courts. That's right, the Geneva Convention Courts. I don't hear none of these none of these Moors. I don't hear none of these Aboriginal niggas. I don't never hear them talking about that. They ain't never showing pictures of them there. They not showing their seals. They don't got their flags. Fuck all of that. That's a waste of time. If you're not gonna dedicate your life to that and dedicate your life to making that trip, that's not my chamber, right? But I know brothers that took that quantum leap and they've been successful with it. They didn't go to jail, right? They did put these liens down. And that shit did happen. It just ain't gonna be put on CNN. You gotta record that shit yourself once you do it. Or they'll gaslight the shit out of you. They already gaslighting you. You hear me? This is some real shit I'm telling y'all, man. I've been on this path over 29 years. So when people start talking all that Aboriginal stuff and, you know, all them different brothers that be talking it from Taj Tariq Bey to Eileen Bey and all the rest, I remember them niggas in their infancy. I remember them. When they wasn't that, they was still studying and trying to figure that shit out. I seen that. See, a lot of y'all just started to catch on now. That's why I say, hey, this for people that's new. I try to get you before you get gaffled and put you up on game. But all you got to do is ask the right questions. That's right, Royal Disciple. That's a line from my man Code 187. Shouts out to Above the Law. It's not what you know, it's what you can prove. What can you prove? And can you do that shit in the courts? You can't put a lien on fucking federal government. You can't take the federal government to court at the federal government court. You're gonna fucking lose. You can't go up against the United States of America, which is a corporation. You can't do that shit in a court. You're gonna fucking lose. There's no way for you to win. You done fucked up stepping into the courtroom to begin with. You got to take them to court in the court that recognized them as a corporation. And that's where the Geneva Convention comes into play. You take your ass over there. Because unbeknownst to any of you, a country cannot stand trial. It doesn't have legs to stand on. It doesn't have feet to keep it upright. So it can't do it. And they got 30 days to answer your claim. If they don't answer that claim in 30 days, then them courts is going to see it as true. You hear me? So the federal government can't show up at international courts. I just gave y'all a gem. It can't show up. It's not a human. It don't have a heartbeat. I've only seen one being have a lien put against them, and they showed their ass up to court. And it wasn't the Queen of England. Her ass didn't even show up to court. That's why she stopped wearing the crown jewels. Because it's a lien against the crown. A lot of y'all don't know this type of shit, man. They're not going to put that on CNN. I told y'all, I don't watch the news. I depend on y'all to tell me what to happen on the news. I don't be fucking knowing. Outside of the weather, that's the only thing I check the news for is the weather. But there's only one being that came to court, and that was the Pope, Pope Francis, man. Pope Francis showed up, put that lien on his ass. He was like, oh, hold on a second. That nigga hurried up and hopped on the PJ and got his ass right to Geneva within 30 days. It was like, hold on, we're going to have to come to some. But other than him, he stands for the, for the Vatican, which is his own sovereign nation. It's registered with the international courts as such. So when you put a lien on the fucking Vatican, oh, who the Pope now? Pope Leo? That motherfucker gonna pop up. He gonna spin the block like, hold on a second, who putting the lien? But you do that for this country, ain't nobody gonna show up. See, Malcolm X, he figured that shit out back in the day. He figured that shit out. That's why he disassociated himself from the Nation of Islam. And see, I'm going to put all of that in my book, Negativity, because he was rolling with, Rolf Black. Rolf Black wrote the Book of Law, right? That was Malcolm X's best friend. This is a smart-ass nigga. See, they don't want y'all to know about your own intelligent people. They got you worried about rappers and entertainers. Fuck them niggas. They sold their soul. They've been bought. They don't mind being bought. But these is beings that couldn't be bought. Henry Rolf Black, look him up. He wrote the Book of Law. He'll show up the court in a military outfit. One of his biggest clients, who was a heroin dealer out of Detroit, may the ancestors be with him. Eddie Jackson. Eddie Jackson, he had a 30-man indictment for heroin. 30 people got indicted. This nigga money was so long, he had all of those people on, they was out on bond for 10 years. Henry Rolf Black had them niggas out of, Henry Rolf Black had these niggas out of court on bond for 10 years. Before that shit went to court. That shit actually happened. See, they're not going to show you that. We out of what they call Black History Month now. But they ain't going to tell you about that shit. That was Malcolm X's best friend. You hear me? That's how Malcolm X knew all the shit that he knew, man. Y'all better wake up. And see, I gotta come out here and drop this because I think about Malcolm X. You know what I mean, man? The ancestors be with him and Betty Shabazz and their grandson. But Eddie Jackson, him and his cohorts, for 10 years, Henry Roth Black drugged the federal court system, not the state. That was the feds. 10 years on bond. And when they finally went to court, all 30 of them people got 4 years. They only had to sit for 4 years behind his presentation. You know who also hailed from Henry Roth Black? Y'all know who I'm gonna say. That's right, goddammit. And I was privileged to meet him. That was and I met him several times because I used to work in Atlanta Hartsfield. Johnny Cochran. Johnny Cochran he's one of his underlings. That was his mentor, Henry Roth Black. He conducted himself like him and everything. The other brother too, Jamie Foxx played him in a movie. I forgot the name of the movie. That's right, O.J. Simpson lawyer. The Jewish dude told him to get him. See, at first he had the little Jewish man. The Jewish man was like, nah, man, you got to go get Cochran. Because he knew about Henry Roth Black and how Henry Roth Black got Eddie Jackson off that case. That man, they caught that nigga with so much heroin. But it's a movie that's on Netflix with Jamie Foxx. He played a lawyer. I forgot the name. It's him and Tommy Lee Jones. I forgot the lawyer's name. But even that lawyer, both of them niggas come from Henry Roth Black. I'm telling you. That dude, the fucking truth. They don't want y'all to know that we got intelligentsia. You got beings that can combat with their trickery and their chicanery. They don't want you to think that you said Willie E. Gary. Yeah, that's his name. Right on, Rod. Rod. See, Rod old enough to know those. Right on, that's his name. They all came from the school of Henry Roth Black. And he didn't have a school, but they were his, they looked up to him. Malcolm X, that was his best friend. When he was taking them trips to Africa and all that, that's who he had with him. And when they found out he was going to go to the Geneva courts and start looking to get us reparations for what was done to us, for the human rights violations, he wasn't looking to go to some Supreme Court to get some human rights like Martin Luther King was doing. Yes, Beautiful Prosperity. That's the name of the movie. That is the name of the movie, The Burial. That's a badass lawyer too. Shouts out to Beautiful Prosperity, right? I just followed you back for that one, loved one. But yeah, that's the name of the movie. And y'all look up Henry Roth Black. Eddie Jackson's son, Eddie Jackson Jr. Shouts out to Eddie Jackson Jr. He from Detroit, Michigan. He talk about Henry Roth Black a lot and everything that he did for his father and the connection to Malcolm X. I don't want to tell the whole story here. I'm going to put it in the book. But go follow Eddie Jackson Jr. on YouTube, and he'll tell you. He'll give you the whole breakdown. Because they gave a lot of money to a lot of these black groups, the Black Militia, the Black Guerrilla Family, and to the Black Panthers as well, the Nation of Islam. All of them received money from Eddie Jackson, the showstopper, the only man to roll around in the Bentley Azure. He had the first Bentley in 71 in the States. You hear me? This nigga was bigger than George Lucas' old rat ass. He was bigger than him, bigger than Nicky Barnes. Them niggas was nobodies when it came to that street shit. You hear me? He was tied directly to the French connection. But that's a whole nother story in itself, man. See, we just know what the pink man gonna tell us. You gotta stop listening to that motherfucker. They done had too many generations to atone for their devilishment. And now they're in a space where they should be atoning. And instead of atoning, you know what they want to do? Remove all the devilishment that their grandfathers and great-grandfathers done from the textbooks. That's a cop-out. You got to pay for that. For real. You got to pay for that shit. Because you're not from here. You're not from here. You're a squatter. The same way that you was squatting. Y'all see what happened with the 50 Cent and Jim Jones and all that? I told y'all I talked some shit and it started happening. That was just a sim that was sent out to all y'all people that's all caught up into the world star hip hop world to let you know. Because they started talking about squatters. That's what 50 called the Jim Jones show. Like, y'all niggas squatting. He ended up buying the whole building out. But that whole terminology coming from them Quakers, them Pilgrims, and them Puritans. They didn't even know how to grow food. Half of them died on that damn boat ride over here. That was the slave boat. Don't let them feed y'all that crap. For those that got the Paruti paradigm, you go look in that book. I want to say it's page 58. When I start talking about Nico Degari, who came up with Degariograph. I hope I'm saying that right. I'm butchering that word. Goriography. That's what it's called. Goriography. He developed the first camera, the first functional camera in 1829. And when you look at pictures of so-called black people from 1829 to 1865, none of them look like slaves. They got on the regalia of English royalty. Niggas got suits on and top hats and shit. In 1835. They look dignified. You don't see no ignorance in their face. You hear me? They don't want you to know that. You don't start seeing the so-called Native American, all that, with the war bonnet and shit. That's Hollywood. That's Hollywood. That's some Hollywood bullshit. But when you start looking at the Indians that they show you, yeah, they got hollow hair, but they dark skinned. Because we mixed in with them Hindus. The Hindus mixed in with us over there through the Ethiopians, and they mixed in with us over here, right, through the Olmecs. Why you think they call the West Indies the West Indies? Why do you think that why they call Indians Indians? Indians come from India. Come on, man, talk to me. And even beyond that, when you look, I don't know how many people familiar with the UK, with the United Kingdom. Shouts out to my people in the UK. We planning on coming to the UK next. We coming to the UK next. We ain't forgot about y'all. We tied in the connections and getting our liaisons together to go to the UK. That's for next year. I'm going to turn the UK out. I'm going to turn that whole motherfucker out. Right? But that's neither here nor there. But in the UK, it got a large population of Indians. The Hindus, the Habibis. It's a bunch of them. You hear me? They everywhere. They here too. They right in the hood, right with you. they've been coexisting with you for millions of years. Not 6,000 years, like the Amorites try to get you to believe. Millions. That's why you see them dark-skinned Indians. Pull up pictures between 1829 and 1855. A Negroid, put Negroid-blooded people, photos of Negro-blooded people from 1829 to 1855. And I bet you don't see a bunch of people in shackles and getting, man, that's a narrative to fit a curriculum. Because they didn't have an education system here in the Western world. Talking about the Europeans. Their first curriculum was it's the Bible. You went to Catholic school. That was it. You hear me? Yes, it was black millionaires. We set up the first republic. Right here. Because they didn't know how to fucking read or write. They was trying to emancipate themselves from England. They didn't even know what the fuck to do. Y'all got to remember, these motherfuckers didn't know how to read or write. They knew how to speak a language. They just couldn't read or write one. Madame Blavatsky had to come over here by way of the Ottoman Empire, right? George Smith, who I talk about in my new book I'm writing, Anunnaki, those I knew sent the key in groups of 50, right? He was able to get to Nineveh because of the Ottoman Empire. Sir Charles Austin Henry Layard was one of the prime ministers of the Ottoman Empire. He was a British prime minister elected to sit on the board of the Ottoman Empire, which is a group of Turks, the Turkish people. This ain't in no holy book or no shit. This is actual history that actually took place. And when they decided to come to America, I'm going to tell y'all everybody that was on that boat. Deuce Ali. Y'all know who Deuce Ali is? He came out of Sudan. He also bought Noble Drew Ali, Marcus Garvey. All of them, they came too because they knew that the Ottoman Empire, they received letters. You know, they wrote Deuce Ali, and he wrote them back and said he'd be coming here with the Ottoman Empire. And told them he would show them all the stuff that they need to start teaching the people here on Ganquia. But when they came here, Madame Blavatsky came to teach the Western world about astrology, tarot cards, Ouija boards, you follow? Ghosts, meditation. That's when all that stuff started getting introduced to the Western world. Before that, they didn't have none of that shit. They was on some Little House of the Prairie shit. You said Anatolia Ali Pasha? Was that the person the head of the Ottoman Empire? I want to say. So when y'all look up them pictures, so you got to look at them timelines. They don't want y'all to know this shit. And how come you could go to college for 4 years and they still ain't going to tell you that shit? You paid all that fucking bread just for them to lie to your ass? It take Warren Buffett, shouts out to Warren Buffett. It take Warren Buffett, who is a Caucasian male, to tell you about the education system of this country. Shouts out to Warren Buffett, man. I always give Warren Buffett his props, man, because he gonna let you know the truth. No, some people just want something to believe in, man. Like I told you, you got 100 years here at best, man. 100 years at best. Let me see. I'm going to zoom this in a little bit so y'all can see that. We're going to go up here on the board now. Take it to the board. I need to go get me a new pointer. Right? Right now, you in the involuntary unconscious mind. That's the dwelling house of Het Hiru, or the dwelling house of Hiru. And you got a polarity in your heart. One is going towards your cardinal desires, which is in the lower chakra field, and one is going into your divine desires or your aspirations, and that's going into the higher chakra fields, dealing more with the conscious you, right? Not the unconscious, and the subconscious, which records all of your activity to memory, right? Recording activity to memory or random access to memory, which you automatically have. Like if I could ask you right now, what you was doing when Tupac passed? And you would be like, oh man, I remember that day. I was doing this, right? Or I ask you, what was you doing when Biggie passed? Shouts out to Biggie. And the ancestors be with him. And you'd be like, oh, I remember that shit. I was doing this. That's called random access memory. But if I say something like, what was you doing the day that your mama that your mama accepted Jesus Christ and got baptized? You don't have no memory of that. You hear me? Because you wasn't here. You was here, but you just wasn't here in a physical form. And that might sound kind of strange to you guys, because you got to learn how to transcend thinking, right? And then with the dwelling house of Heru, we got to pull up the eye of Heru, right? We got to go through the physical senses, right? Turn that light out so y'all can see that. We got to go through those physical senses, which is connected to the nose. That's for smelling. The pointer is for the touch. The curl is for the tongue. And of course, the eye is for seeing. And the exterior of the eye is for the ear. And then you got the brow, which is for thinking. Once you start thinking, you start transcending your physical senses. So this is called the sixth sense. That's the sixth sense. Thinking is the sixth sense. And what you have to do is transcend thinking in order to operate with your conscious you, right? That's going to access, that gives you access to the superconscious, right? That's the crown where Haru sits. But you have to transcend the sacred meanings of the Aya Heru, which is coded in your physical senses, which are really just one sense. And they're all tethered to the unconscious mind. That's why they call this the dwelling house of Heru. For those that came out the seminar, I know y'all getting more of those pieces coming together. Like, damn, just think about everything that we talked about in seminar. And it's essential, because like I told y'all prior to seminar, all I do is keep flowing from where I left off the seminar. If you wasn't there at the seminar, you missed all of those nuances, and you just have to depend on, putting the pieces together, right? And that's okay, because Tahuti is there to record everything. But your goal while you're here is to override the unconscious mind, which moves on an autopilot. Most of what you do while you awake is on autopilot. 10% of what you do is the conscious you making that shit happen. You follow? He said, I missed too many seminars. Hey, man, you just need to come on in. You know I teach on the curb. You just have to learn how to prioritize, budget, and plan ahead. That's why I set up these seminars at the times that I do the way that I do. It's putting y'all to the test to see if you have what it takes to plot, plan, strategize appropriately, right? To make it there effectively. Put your little shekels to the side. You know, I had to take a 16-hour drive to get to Atlanta. So I put myself to the same degree of test that everybody else have. Everybody else I get put to the same test. My father pointed something out to me after the seminar. He said, "You know what, Baba? my parents been calling me Baba since I was 2, and I'm 40-something years old." But my pops was like, "Man, you always the first one to arrive, and you the last one to leave." I come there 2 days prior to the seminar, because that's a long ass drive. It take a day to decompress. Take a full day of doing nothing. After I make a long ass trip like that, it's over 935 miles. And the only reason I had to take that trip when I come to Atlanta is because I can't put my staff on the airplane. They're not gonna let me board the airplane with my staff. They're like, "Yo, you're gonna have to put that under the plane." I'm like, "Nah, man. Y'all gonna fuck it up." I know they are. My staff already told me, like, "Yo, don't put me under there." So the first time I was like, "Nah, I'm all right. This can't go on the plane with me." It's like you can use it as a weapon. I was like, it don't have to sit in my seat. It can sit up there with the pilot, with the what's the name. But they didn't want to let this on there. And that's okay. I don't want to let this shit on there if it's gonna be left out of my sight like that. So I had to be held to the same, you know, degree as you guys. Said my device be talking to me. Yeah. Yeah, the orgone has a sentient consciousness. It's thinking, it knows it's alive. It adheres to your programming. I program everything to go for the wearer. That's why I talk to everybody. It be hearing me. When I was talking to you, Ray, my remote controller was picking up on it and sending our conversation to the piece that you chose. Right? Plenty of people in our community say that. They start giving them pet names and shit. You said, "No, life for me to leave it at home." Yeah. It be telling you, like, "Yo, come get me. What you doing?" It's working with you. It's your own personal psychic Jarvis. You hear me? I told another one of the pupils earlier that he said, "Maria," shouts out to Laura. Said, "Peace of love. I just got my tech a couple of days ago. Dream Tech." Okay, you ordered some Dream Tech? That was you that ordered that. Okay. I didn't see that. Big Zay, I gotta add you in the group, Zay. That's you, Ju Juzarian. I tried to call you too. I'll try you again after this live, and we'll talk, and I can add you into the group. How that tick fell up under your pillow? How that tech under your pillow, loved one? Oh, your phone is off. Oh, okay, okay. Yeah, I'll reach out. Yeah, motherfucker. Yeah, motherfucker. That sleep ain't no joke, is it? Like, shit. You wake up, you be all refreshed and alert, ready to accomplish some shit. You be focused on your goals. Yeah, it won't let you oversleep. It know exactly. Yeah, man. These pieces is thinking. And see, now I got the new upgrades. I got to add them to my site. Lord of Labradorite 2.0. These pieces is not playing with you. I'm eradicating fear. These gonna be more expensive than my regular tech. I'm eradicating fear from out of you. I'm taking the fear out of your ass now. All y'all people that be fearful, pessimistic, doubtful, wait till you see these Lord of Labradorite pieces. We getting that shit up out of your ass. So by the time I hit you with that stab, you're gonna be on point. Because I told y'all we not holding hands. This shit ain't waiting for people to evolve. We in Raynology 102, which is in Het Hiru, and we dealing with the unconscious mind and getting people past the degree of thinking. When you go past thinking, you start doing shit. You don't have to think about it no more. You just do that shit. I came up with 4 or 5 designs. This is one of them, right fast. Just right fast. Like, man, I wasn't even home 24 hours. My wife was like, damn, nigga, don't you want to go to sleep? I was like, yeah, but I got to design this shit first. Let me just design this, then I'll conk out. That's how I am, man. I still keep going. And I'm telling y'all, this new dark matter mix I got is no joke. It's no joke. And it's really going to get your ass. It's going to get you. And you be like, damn, man, let me get up and accomplish this shit, man. Fuck that. Because see, that's what's on the other end of fear. It's the reality that you have engineered for yourself. That's what's on the other end of your fear. Shouts out to Kevin Richards. I appreciate that, beloved. So you want to override the unconscious mind, which has about 90% autonomy over the activity that you're conducting while you're awake. That other 10% is you. And you operating through your conscious. Right? Your conscious, 90% of your conscious becomes awakened once the body goes to sleep. Now your consciousness can leave out your body and conduct itself accordingly. And unbeknownst to many of you, you're generating that dream that you're having. Your own consciousness is making that shit. It's just that when you return back to your body, you stop operating at that level. I'm here to change all of that. So you can keep operating like that once you awake. But you have to subdue the unconscious mind. It doesn't like to be monitored. It doesn't like to be observed, and it doesn't like to be tamed. And that's where the meditation comes into play. And for all the people that came out to seminar, you got hit with that staff, I put you on the right trajectory, right? For you to start meditating. Even if you don't think you're getting no results, do it anyway. I told y'all the prerequisite to meditation, sit 10 minutes in silence. No words, no nothing. Just sit in silence. Allow those thoughts to move through the reservoir of your consciousness. All the uncomfortability. Oh, my butt itch. You know what I mean? Oh, it's a spider on me. I just felt the spider web. That's what I used to feel at first. I used to have long braids. I like, damn, feel like something in my braids. I had to get past that. And once I was able to block all that, I was like, let me just sit here for a minute and let all this shit do its thing. And once you start hearing the acids in your body and stuff like that, that's when you know it's time to conduct your meditation. Use a guided meditation. You know, go to Wayne Dwyer. Use one of Wayne Dwyer's guided meditations. Find one on YouTube and do it. In the AM, when you fully awake and alert, and don't do it right before you go to bed, but do it as the day starts to wane and your house starts to calm down. Then you want to conduct your meditation and be consistent about it. Be ritualistic with your meditations, right? Be very ritualistic. Ritualistic is just a sexy way of saying routine. You want to start developing the routine of meditating. Because without meditation, you can read 1,000 books. It ain't going to fucking matter if you ain't meditating. You're not going to have the same random access to your memory that you had if you meditated. And once you start going past the heart chakra, right, and you start getting up into the brow chakra, see the brow? Now you transcendent thinking. You're preparing yourself for random access to the boundless universe. But y'all not ready for that yet. Many of you not. You still think you this body. But you want super conscious activity to be popping off while you in your awakened realm. It don't work that way. You're going to have to subdue your conscious mind. And many people do not like to deal with the lower chakras. But this is what you signed up for. You signed up to be a part of time. You signed up to be the all-seeing eye for your dearly departed. Right? And those messages of heaven and hell is going to either lead to cardinal desires or divine desires. That's what's going to determine your power in the physical dimension. And the dwelling house of Haru will determine if Tahuti will give you access to your super conscious. I'm one of Tahuti's stewards to make sure that you get this so you can apply it to your life and start to have a positive impact on yourself, your life, your reality, and any and everyone around you. People should be benefiting from you being present. You shouldn't be a burden to see. If you're making yourself a burden, that's because you've been a burden to yourself. You're burdening yourself with your cardinal desires. And now you're depositing that off on other people too. You're making them a burden of your own burdens, of your own doing. When it's not that's not their responsibility. That's yours. You hear me? So these chakras have to be put into alignment. They already in alignment along the vertebrae, but some of you guys are operating in your root chakra and you're pulling all the energy from here, from your heart chakra. You're pulling all of that energy in order to operate in your root chakra, right? Sometimes you're pulling all that energy from the crown chakra just so you can function in the root. And now that'll cause that chakra to move slower because all of the energy that is needed in order for the superconscious to be conducted in the body has went into the root chakra with many immortal. Sometimes it makes it to the sacral, right? Some people just dormant right here in the feet. Clear indicators of this is you like to waste time. Some people will waste time. Days, weeks, years of wasted time. Ain't getting nothing done. It's to the point now I got to charge people for consultation. Like, yo, man, you want to get on the phone? I need $75 for an hour. I need at least that. I really need $200 an hour. Just so I can hear you, babble. It's like, nah, man, shit, I can't, I don't got that time like that. Catch me when I'm on a TikTok. Sign up for my studentship program. Come join the community. That's why I be telling y'all to do all this, because when I get on the phone with you, I just don't be having the time to shoot the shit with you like that. Some people will get on the phone with me and want to talk 3 and 4 hours. That's not getting nothing done. Right? Not in case we strategizing and working on something or towards something. Like, my staff members, when I talk to them, it's a fruitful conversation. We not just shooting the shit. We putting some shit together. They helping me put some stuff together. He said, I'll pay you $200. Hey, if that's what you want to do, you can. Don't talk about it, be about it. But I always tell people, make sure you got a pen and a pad. Make sure you got those things in play. Because if you do, then hey, you're going to definitely get something way more than what you getting on here. Because ain't nothing I got to tiptoe and dance around the shit I really want to say. Or y'all join the 1089 tech community. Because at this point, we dealing from the heart chakra up. You know, y'all missed everything from the solar plexus down. And we're going to go through the end of that. We ended it off with a shebang in Dallas in November. When by the time November come around, I haven't named the seminar yet, but it's going to be in Dallas, primarily Plano, Texas. We're going to be in Plano, Texas. Already confirmed with some of my constituents up that way. That's where I need to hold it. We're going to do it in Plano, Texas. It's going to be in November. We always do this before the Thanksgiving holiday. And the reason why I do that is so that people won't have problems getting on and off the airplanes for those that need to take planes. All my people in Oklahoma, Denver, all you people that's right there in Arkansas, Louisiana, y'all need to make y'all way there. Las Vegas, New Mexico. If you in those areas, you need to prepare for that time. This will be a 3-day event. I haven't put tickets up yet, but start saving your shekels. Start saving your shekels. A lot of y'all can't afford these events, but you really can't afford to miss these events because it's going to change the course of your life for the better. So you might as well start investing in yourself now. Start preparing for that shit right now. And I also got to get that disclaimer. The second that you make up your mind to come, man, them jinns, them walk-ins, those adverse forces going to be coming at you twice as hard because they know what's on the other end of that fear waiting for you. And they don't want you to touch that shit. They don't want you to get that far. It's like, damn. Y'all know what everybody that showed up to the event. You couldn't wait. Y'all didn't even want this shit to end, did you? A couple of people was like, hey, Doc, hey, next time, why don't you make this shit 7 days, man? We need to be together for 7 days. That energy feel good when we all connected, when we all get together. That's the best time of my life. Shit, make my damn year being around the community. And we ain't even really get to go out and have a drink or none of that stuff. Really didn't need to. We was on a natural high. The high was quite natural. Everything was quite synchronistic. And it was quite refreshing to be around positive energy and people that's on the same mind state that you're on. Shit just hit a little different. You know, we even had to switch venues at the last moment. The people was hating on me at the hotel. They went and looked up my shit, seeing I wasn't no Jesus freak. And, you know, little ugly ass black bras in Atlanta and shit. You know, when they got them damn heavy backs and shit. they can't wait to shit on you. And that's what I was up against. But they thought they was about to rain on my parade. Like, no, we just gonna switch venues. And those people was way more accommodating. The other spot that I used wasn't trying to finesse me. They tried to charge me for a television. It was like, yeah, we got to charge you to use our TV. I was like, but it's already in the conference room. Why do I got to get charged to use it? Why is that not in the contract? It's like, you never said nothing. I was like, I never had to say nothing no other time. When I used True to Home, shouts out to True to Home, Holiday Inn and Express, none of them charged me to use that extra stuff. So let me say, Holiday Inn and Express, they tried to charge Nas one time. Once they see that I'm not a Jesus freak, oh, they don't like that shit. They try to make it uncomfortable for me to set up the presentation. And unbeknownst to them, you got to pay the karmic ramification for blocking somebody like me. You got to pay the karmic ramification of getting in the way of somebody like me. You got to pay the piper for that. Especially if you don't have nothing to equal or greater value to offer to these people. You hear me? That's what it is. And all the rest of you niggas, you just need to get the fucking line. Period. Come get in line with Dr. Ray. Stop playing with yourself. You think you got it going on now, it could be 10 times better. It could. And shouts out to Dia Oz. Haagen-Dazs is gonna prove that shit to you. After I hit you with that stat. I gotta call you, Haagen-Dazs. I'm gonna reach out to you, loved one. We ain't playing the radio around these parts, man. We are not playing the radio. You hear me? We not. Some of y'all might think we are. And for y'all people in Houston, I might come up there. I might come up to Houston in 2 weeks. I'm thinking about it. I'm really thinking about it. I'm starting to be like, yo, come to Houston. I seen that person that said that earlier. I ain't gonna hold you to task, but I'm definitely gonna, come to Houston though. I'm gonna come to Houston. We're gonna do a Q&A there. All my people from Houston out. I'm gonna reach out to some people in the community. I got people from Houston in the community. I gotta get up there and see one of my students, Ian Gilmore. I'm coming there just for you, Ian. I'll be feeling your spirit, Ian. Okay, there go AB. Yeah, you already know. You know I'm gonna hit your ass up. You know I'm gonna hit you, brother. You know I'm gonna get at you. Houston, man. Find a hotel for me, AB. Holiday Inn Express. We're gonna do a Holiday Inn Express, and I'll come on up there. I'm getting the vibe of the 22nd. The 22nd. Y'all want to come on out? I'll just charge y'all what, $20 to come in. I gotta put some type of what's the name on it? Yeah, look for the 22nd. 22nd, I'm gonna come on up there. Fuck it. We gotta see the size of the conference room. Said north side, please. Okay, you say so. You up there, beautiful prosperity? Y'all come on out. Yeah, this month right here. This month right here. This month right here. For those people that come out, I'm dropping the price on all the devices. I'm dropping the price on the oil. I drop the price on everything when people come out to the events. Now I'm gonna have to charge you a service charge to come on in, just so it don't be overcrowded with people. I don't like to have too much of a crowd, but I'm gonna make it very reasonable. Let's just call it $26. Q&A, just basic Q&A for people. We'll even put a piece of it on the TikTok for all y'all people that want that conveniency. We're not gonna play the whole thing, but I'm gonna do a piece of the Q&A and let it go live so y'all can see the people that's there. And then I'm gonna get off there. You will have to pay for staff alignments, and that's it. But I'll bring all my devices and everything, because I got a whole new line of tech that I'm working on right now. And even I'll show y'all some of them. This is one of the pieces right here. Let me put this up on the board. This is the new dark matter mix. I done added something beyond tourmaline and obsidian. Just don't got the tourmaline and obsidian in it anymore. In the shungite. Now I got onyx and jet. I done added onyx and jet to the mix. And let me turn this light down a little bit. Man, I might just have to turn it off. But I want to show you guys some of this. Oh, there go another broke unk. Somebody unk had broke. I got 3 broken unks that I'm working on. I don't know if Shamari in the building. Shamari, what's the name? Should have reached out to you. If not, he going to reach out to you. Now I know a lot of y'all people at that event, y'all wanted to get that get them Lord of Labradorites. Is them it? Nope. Y'all see them things, it's pricey. All the new tech is going to be a little bit more than what it was. Even my Dream Tech, I'm going to do the Dream Tech with it too. But these things is not dealing with no fear, no doubt. I'm eradicating fear, doubt, and uncertainty from individuals. Let me see if I can take this out like this so I can show it to y'all. Yeah, I only sold one of these pieces. Only sold one. Only two people, me and Dia Oz, got dark matter chest plates. These gonna be going for about $200. Yeah, these is $200. You don't like listening to your first mind after you put this on? Oh, you ain't got no choice then. You ain't got no choice but to listen. Isn't that a beaut? See the detail in there? I put shungite in everything. Y'all know that. Shungite, black tourmaline, obsidian. Jet and onyx. I'm trying to broker for some moldavite. Find somebody that gonna give me enough pieces of moldavite, and I'm gonna start doing moldavite pieces too. And that's when I'm gonna add the tech type to the dark matter. Yeah, I was talking to the people in Atlanta, man. They prices was too pricey. Are these the Lord of Labradorites? Um, they're a little bit pricier because the vendor that I'm using, they make me pony up. They like, man, you're gonna have to pay for this. They charge me about a pound. I don't even get a pound. A quarter pound of these stones almost cost me $200. But we there. I will be bringing these to Houston. I just got to get the particulars, and I'll come up, on a Friday or something, and we'll do it for the Saturday, right? The 22nd. I just got to find. I want to make sure that I'm not in the ghetto. I don't want to be in the third ward. No disrespect to the third ward. Yeah, but them the new ones. I unveiled these at the seminar. One person bought one. Shouts out to Beverly Jones. She didn't waste no time. She was like, yo, man, I need one of them. Right? You said I'm safe in third ward? Said the Woodlands. The only reason I say that is because a lot of it be the women, man. When they see that you not no Jesus freak, they gonna try to hate on what you doing. And I don't need that. I don't need that type of energy. So you see how I be throwing my seminar, right? In San Antonio. I need that type of I need that type of area on the outskirts. I like to be on the outskirts. That way I ain't gotta deal with no nigga shit. And I ain't talking about no thug shit. I'm talking about, you know, just that heavy back ass, you know, black mammy syndrome. Man, I don't know what that is, but I only get that from so-called black women, right? And it ain't all black women. It's just that archetype of black woman. You know what I'm saying? He said, it's ironic. A woman I'm talking to nickname is Sekhmet. Nah, yeah, that's you in alignment, man. I told y'all I'm a master of alignment. Shouts out to Big Goldie. Get the Sekhmet shirt. I ain't put this up on the what's the name yet. But this the new Sekhmet shirt. I got a whole bunch of new shirts. I got the Anu. I got the shirts with Anu face on them now. I ain't put that up there yet. But I got a lot of new shit I've been working on. I'm always constantly working on something, y'all. Always. If y'all don't see me on here, it's because I'm putting in that work. I'm working on about 8 books right now, and I'm taking my time writing them. And when I'm finished with them, they all gonna come out at the same time. You know, I just got the idea for 2 more books. I'm like, damn. But that's what happened. You had to put your energy into your divinity, and I'm generating my own reality. My fucking house looked like a sweatshop. Yeah, the staff always in the room. You know that. It's right here in the building, baby. You know that. It's always in the building. But I'm working on some more high-powered tech pieces that's going to be prepared for 7G. Because right now we on 6G. I showed y'all that last time I went live. We on a 6G frequency. Your Wi-Fi is on 6G. It's tapped into your psychic center. It's picking up on the neural mapping of your brain, and it's predicting what you're thinking. Right now. That's what's going on right now today. Said, do you do 101? You're going to have to be a little bit more clearer. We did just come out of Raynology 101. Now we in Raynology 102. And we're dealing with the mental knowledge. You know what I mean? We're dealing with mental knowledge, and we're going into Raynology 102, which we just started that in Atlanta with the Het Hiru, Science of the Neteru. That day was dedicated to that, right? And when we do the seminar in Dallas in November, we're gonna integrate everything, spiritual application, and we're gonna close the vault on a spiritual application. This will be the people's last time to get access to spiritual application and develop the apperceptive nature necessary to apply themselves spiritually. This will be the last time for that. If you miss it, you miss it, right? If you miss it, you miss it. Come on and join us. Also in San Antonio, July the 26th and the 27th, we will be having the AAA workshop. This is where you will learn how to put your altar together in person. I'm going to do a PowerPoint presentation, and I show you guys how to do the altars, right? This is going to fast track a lot of you, especially if you don't belong to our community already. You're about to be fast tracked. If you follow my instructions and my directions concisely and to the letter, you're going to get exemplary results from the things that I show you. I guarantee you that. You follow? I guarantee you. So don't miss these opportunities. One of my last pupils, he was like, damn. That shit dawned on him after this one because he done been to a couple in a row. He was like, man, I can't be missing these seminars, man. I've been fucking up, man. He was like, man, he started thinking about all the stuff that he did gain and gather and learn in these seminars he showed up to. But he started to realize all the ones they said, I don't have to go. You don't know what you're missing. Those windows of opportunity, do not wait for you to catch up to it. If the opportunity come knocking, you got to take advantage of it then, right? Just like when I woke up out of my bed this morning. If I didn't wake up out my bed this morning when I was prompted to, I wouldn't be right here right now talking to you guys. But I got my ass on up and got to it. You hear me? I got right on to it. Just like when I go to Atlanta, I don't have that time to bullshit and lollygag on getting out of town and going to Atlanta. That shit ain't around the corner from me. So 2 weeks before I go to Atlanta, I know exactly what day I'm leaving. I know exactly what time I'm leaving. Just so I can make it to Atlanta in a timely manner. I can't fuck around with that. And I'm just using that as an example as to when you guys hear about these events, getting the tech, joining the community. You don't know how much stuff you be missing out on. And you will end up learning on the curb anyway, but it's like, man, now you playing catch up on the curb. Because your oversoul attempted to prompt you to get you to do something a year ago. And you just catching on to it now, and you done missed all of that. Like some people come into my live, and they be like, hey, what about this? A person earlier was like, what about this? What about that? They kept asking about stuff that I done already went over 3 or 4 times. I had to tell them, yo, go to my YouTube page. A whole video up there. I done went over that. I done got like 3 videos on the Anunnaki. I can't keep going over that same thing again and again. That's why I upload it to YouTube. That's why I put them in playlists and chapters on my page, so I don't have to keep repeating myself for people that didn't get that prompting to come in here when they first seen me. They just see me doing like this and chatting and stuff like, man, I don't want to hear this nigga. Know what I mean? I want to hear some arguments. I want some debates. Man, we past debates. I'm not one of them brothers that's here to debate with nobody. I'm here for people that want instruction and direction and that's looking to get results from their efforts. If you're not looking to get some results from your efforts, this is not the place for you. You need to go see Pastor Porkchop, or you need to see Brother Woke 2000, the new version of Rashid Jamil or something. I'm not here to give you no sermon, right? I'm not here. I'm here for the doers. I'm not here just for those that want to think and know something. I'm here for those people that want to do something. Those people that want to really have an impact on this reality and is looking forward to being a custodian to this planet, because that's what the fuck we doing. And we having such an impact that it started to impact the afterlife. Now I'm starting to affect the dream realm. Now I'm starting to have an effect on time itself. Time is collapsing with many of my members. The time is starting to collapse on itself. See, I'm aware of the power I got. I'm here to make sure that you got it. I don't got no other choice at this point, at this juncture in my life. I know too much. I can't walk around like a regular civilian no more. They implore that I do what I'm doing for you guys, because ain't nobody else gonna do it for you. For real, they don't got the patience with your ass. They ain't got the patience with they self. But I'm here for you, beloved. I take one more question. Anybody else got any questions out there? Any more questions? Make sure y'all go to my YouTube page, OrgoniteTEK. OrgoniteTEK, or put at 1089 TV. I'ma pop up. Thank you for enhancing my gift gallery, beautiful prosperity. I appreciate that, beloved. And all y'all people in Houston, y'all look out for me. I'm coming on up there. I'm gonna come on up. Right? Give y'all a week or 2 to prepare. Let me look on my other phones. Oh my God, man. No, man. Why you always want somebody to spend a night over here? Ari, God damn it. No, man. God damn. I don't want nobody in my house, man. God damn. They can't wait for me to come to UK. Yeah, I'm coming to the UK, man. I'm coming there. I need some liaisons. You could be one of them liaisons. I got a couple of people in my group. I would need a WhatsApp number, or I'll give you my WhatsApp number. So we could start putting that together. I got a couple of my students. They got constituents over there. I got a lot of constituents over there too. And I'm just trying to put it together because we gonna stay there. I want to stay about 2 weeks when we come over there. We ain't just gonna up and leave. So we definitely want to plan that out. And I'm gonna have a few of my staff members with me. And I don't want to come over there and don't nobody just show the fuck up. You know what I mean? To be 2 or 3 people there. And be like, hey, when you gonna come to UK? Don't let me bring my ass across that pond, Kevin, and I don't see your ass. I'm gonna get on you. I'm gonna get on your ass. Like P. Diddy had a baby oil party. Right? Okay, so that'll be March the 21st. This is the 13th right now. We could either do the 21st or the 28th. The 21st or the 28th. Y'all let me know what'll be a good time for Houston. Then I'm gonna go up to Dallas too. I'm gonna start hitting all the spots. But somebody said Houston, we'll come up to Houston. I done been up there with the staff. I went to all the crystal stores, you know what I mean, and made my presence known through all up through there, handing out flyers for the events in San Antonio. But we gonna come up there and I'm gonna go live and, you know, pull the people on out. But y'all let me know. We will be in Houston. You know, come on up to Houston and see what time it is. All right. Anybody else? Any other questions? All right. No other questions? Cool. I'm going to get on off of here for now. Again, go check out my YouTube page. Follow me on Instagram and, of course, here on the TikTok. I've been your beloved brother, Dr. Ray, OrgoniteTEK, on behalf of the 1089 Tech Vision community and 1089techvision.com. I leave you in peace and love. May the ancestors be with you. See you guys again on the next live. Who am I?